Hey everybody, it's Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the Cinema Draft game, and yes, still your boy. Up here in the dead of night, it is going on 3 a.m. Pacific time, Tuesday, April 4th. Happy opening day to everybody who partakes in baseball and all that good stuff. But let's get into the real nation's pastime. They just don't know it yet. It is Cinema Draft. Let's take a look at those call sheets from last week. And yes, the title of this week's podcast, or this week's recap podcast, is called The Challenge, because I am definitely laying the gauntlet out to you. Because how dare you? How dare you let me win for a third week in a row, the call sheet of the week? And not only that, I'm going to puff my chest out just a little bit. Since I can't win any money on my own game, I certainly will shower myself with praise where need be, because your boy did win 4 out of the 5 contests. I took the feature presentation, the best boy, the key grip, and the background talent. Congrats to Smart Ash for winning the $20 gaffer, which I was clearly just fooling around. But as I said in our group chat, and if you have yet to check it out, I highly suggest you do go to our Facebook page. I think it's facebook.com/cinemadraft. Go to the notes section. There should be a note there with the link to our group meet group chat. I said that if there was ever a week to get me, it was going to be this week, because last week I was away on business, traveling to LA. I was working out of odd places. Didn't really have, I wouldn't say I didn't give my call sheet much thought, but I was pretty sure I was primed to be beaten. And yet here we are, with me winning the feature presentation with what turns out to be the call sheet of the week. So since mine was the call sheet of the week, and I mean, do you guys hate money? I mean, what's going on right now? I'm offering $25 every week for you guys to come, beat my sheet, and you can't do it. And then I've got a little something for y'all at the end. I got a little something for y'all later, since there clearly seems to be a lack of incentive enough to beat my sheet. Well, anyways, here we are with the feature presentation. And as you know, Zookeeper's Wife actually did lock at platforms as we were onto a new game. We're still working out the kinks in the system to make sure that these reflect the release types when they're locked. But just pretend that Zookeeper's Wife was all platform, which it was at the time of lock, and that really was the key there. That was the key, the secret, because as it turns out, it locked at 474, but when the estimates came in from Friday, turns out some exhibitors came in at the last second and added the Zookeeper's Wife to push it over to 541. But as per the rules of the game, what happens at lock stays at lock. So if we locked at 474 and platform, which is what we did, then we're going to treat it like a platform release throughout the weekend. So Zookeeper's Wife actually did 3.3 million, I believe, for the weekend, and that at a platform release, as you know, was good for 32.90 points or 46.06 headliner points. And just having any exposure to Zookeeper's Wife really gave you value and bang for the buck. I mean, look at this. Basically, 10,400. I mean, just the value there for 46 points is just off the charts. I mean, essentially, was it one point? I'm bad at math. Basically, you're getting like a point every $100 in salary. It's really, really clutch. And so that helped propel this call sheet with a 4-pack of the Zookeeper's Wife, plus the headliner stack of Boss Baby, which outperformed. Now, I just want to call attention to. No, actually, that was the weekend. Actually, I just want to call attention to our good friends, even if they don't know it yet, over at Box Office Pro. Their projections for the Boss Baby was going to be at, well, no. So these are showing the weekend projections. Those are the weekend projections. Their projections going into Wednesday, when they offered their Wednesday projections, were actually fairly, the weekend forecast. There you go. Their forecast projections for Boss Baby tapped out at 32 million. I mean, topped out at 32 million. Now, I mean, I was curious about this movie. Actually thought it'd go up to about 40 million or so. And actually, and I think our poll was supposed to be on Ghost in the Shell. And I forgot to post the poll. That's my bad, y'all. Like I said, it was a very busy week for your boy. But Boss Baby, I actually felt it had $40 million potential, but it overperformed all estimates. It came over to 50 million, 50.2 million, totally overperformed. And so that, as if you had a headliner, got you 70.28 points. So stacking the Boss Baby plus the 4-pack of the Zookeeper's Wife and a couple of one headliner plus one actor from Get Out for some extra points there at the limited release category. And I do believe Get Out was our high performer for the limited release type. And you were basically, sitting pretty. Yeah, Get Out made 5.66 million in limited release, 1,844 screens, far and away the top earner in that release type. So basically just getting all those guys onto one sheet, all those actors on one sheet, and rounding it out with Octavia Spencer from Hidden Figures and Carl Argue from T2 Trainspotting, and that garnered 335.17 points, the top call sheet for the weekend. So since we shall not let this heresy go unchecked, I'm doubling down, or in this case, looks like quadrupling down. Since no one has been able to beat my sheet in the last 3 weekends, I'm actually going to cumulatively roll up the bounties from here on out so that whomever actually finally beats my sheet will get each of the bounties from the previous weeks. I believe they call this a progressive bounty. So we now have a progressive bounty where for however many weeks in a row that we have your boy, the CEO and founder and creator of the game, winning, or saving the bounty, we're going to roll them up so that the person who does finally dethrone me from my lofty perch atop the call sheet of the week standings will win all of the previously neglected bounties. So next week, or this week's talent pool coming up, you're looking at $100 bounty. This would far and away surpass, actually this would double our highest possible score on this, highest possible earning on the site at $46 in the feature presentation. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Come beat my sheet. Y'all have got me really focused in. I'm honed in. I'm locked in. I don't know if I've had this great a stretch even during the spreadsheet portion of the games. I mean, Jaybird will attest that, Jaybird, ran our little leagues. He won 4 straight seasons of our box office project on the Google spreadsheets, and I don't think I've ever been this hot ever before. So come get this money. This $25 bounty is now $100 bounty. So come and get it, come and get it, come and get it. Progressive bounty, come after it. So second place and the actual winner of the money, $46.25, goes to Ring Balls 22. Let's take a look at his call sheet real quick. And he also had some good exposure to the Zookeeper's Wife. He had a 4-pack, including the headliner stack of Jessica Chastain and Daniel Bruhl. He also had a Beauty and the Beast headliner for 20,800. Dan Stevens, 63.59 points. Not bad. He had Steve Buscemi, a headliner from The Boss Baby, 70.28 points. He punted a little bit in platform release with The Devotion of Suspect X at 5,100, but with the headliner from there, that got him 4.48 points, so it wasn't a total loss. And then also he had the headliner stack from T2 Trainspotting, which got him 5.29 points respectively. And to be honest with you, it seemed like T2, although it expanded some more screens, still didn't, I think it went to, 140? Yes, 140 screens. Still didn't give us what we're hoping to get out of T2. So that was good enough for 312.56 points for Ring Balls, a somewhat distant, 23 points behind, but a good effort, Ring Balls, and enjoy all that money. James Lear brings up third, and his call sheet looks like, oh, he had a headliner stack from Ghost in the Shell. He had headliner stack from The Boss Baby. Had a 3-pack of T2 Train Spotting, Betty Gabriel from Get Out, and also a headliner from The Belko Experiment plus. Oh, and plus the cheaper of the two headliners from The Zookeeper's Wife. And ironically, The Zookeeper's Wife was his second highest performer at only 9,900, whereas The Boss Baby, of course, led the way with 70.28 points. And Ghost in the Shell underperformed. And let me just kind of opine on that real quick. I have yet to see Ghost in the Shell. I actually want to see Ghost in the Shell. I shall be checking to see if it's playing at my favorite D-Box theater in D-Box for Ghost in the Shell. I love ScarJo. I think she's very talented. I love everything she's in for the most part, and she's kind of glommed onto in a second career as like a it's kind of like an avatar for our fears for future facing films. She's the voice of in Her. She's Lucy, in Luc Besson's sci-fi extravaganza, and she actually, even early on, she was in The Island, an overly maligned Michael Bay sci-fi, futuristic thriller with her and I believe Ewan McGregor. Just kind of weird pairing, but yeah. So I'm kind of here for it. But the reason why Ghost in the Shell underperformed is because of two little but all important words, which seems to be getting more and more play in our age of information and social media. And these two words are cultural appropriation. Apparently, Ghost in the Shell is based off of a popular anime comic, and I think it might have even been made into a movie in Japan somewhere. And there were a lot of people, in their feelings about the major character being recast and as Scarlett Johansson. It was a Japanese female in a Japanese woman in the lead of Ghost in the Shell, and it looks like by just the whitewashing to an extent of the character and replacing the Japanese character with a Caucasian one was just a bridge too far. People, I mean, as Ring Balls noted in our group chat, the tracking on this movie went down from 45 million at one point down to 20, an estimated 28, and it even underperformed that. Only was it 19 million? Yeah, 18.7 million for the weekend. So, just I mean, you can have feelings about cultural appropriation. People who aren't from cultures who are often culturally appropriated, usually minority communities, may not feel as strongly about this. And like I said, I still plan on seeing this movie because my curiosity is piqued. But I totally get it. We've seen this happen time and time again, from Elvis taking the best of Chuck Berry's work to cultural fame to just it's been done time and time again. Just the cultural appropriation from the dominant culture of minority culture, and apparently people just were not here for it. So I don't know, studios. I don't know if this will be enough for them to learn their lesson. Look at this: a reported $110 million budget, only grossed 20 million. Cinema score of I think a B. So the multiples off that generally don't indicate it's going to make its money back. It's actually probably going to take a big loss of about maybe half on this, at least domestically. So I don't know, y'all. I mean, maybe it will take them being hit in the pockets for them to stop the cultural appropriation train. Matter of fact, here's a great example of cultural appropriation at its worst. There was in the wave of Hidden Figures, and let's pour a little liquor out for Hidden Figures, man. We rode with it for such a long time. It's been like 4 months with Hidden Figures. I'm gonna miss it. It is actually not in next week's talent pool. It was time for it to go, but riding the wave of Hidden Figures, I believe there's a project in development about the first black female astronaut, I believe, and so that's like in development, as they say in Hollywood, which means they probably don't have a script. They probably just have people attached, and they're working on it right now. And then coming behind it was another project, which I believe had Jessica Chastain behind it, and it's about basically being, one of the first female astronauts in space. And just, I mean, once news came out about that, like just, I think less than 2 weeks on hearing about the former project with the black female astronaut, I mean, Twitter just roasted them, just roasted her for, basically, jacking her style. So just beware, Hollywood. Just learn your lesson. And if you don't learn it now with Ghost in the Shell, you will learn it the hard way if you try going down that route again. So there I am off my little cultural appropriation, soapbox. Thank you for indulging me. We'll keep moving with one or two more call sheets. Fan of the pod, let's check out Jay Devlin's. He was comfortably in the top 5 with 254.16, 4 points off of the Roan, an OG of the game. Appreciate your continued support, the Roan. But Jay Devlin's call sheet, once again, he is all in on train spotting. I think I do believe I talked about this a little bit on the preview pod on Friday, where I said that it's either a brilliant strategy or, it might not do what he thinks it's going to do, even with the expansion. And once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He did a 5-pack of train spotting. Only did what did T2 train spotting did $377,000 on 140 screens. A kind of so-so $2,697 per screen average. Just taking a look at the per screen averages this week. Boss Baby 13.3. David Lynch, The Art Life on one screen, 10.8 thousand. Beauty and the Beast, 10.7K. Some Louis the 1, 2, 3. So then, Devotion Suspect X, 7.5. The Zookeeper's Wife, 6,000. That's very strong. Ghost in the Shell actually 5.4K, so not bad, but so you have to kind of scroll down for a while until you get. So T2 train spotting was the 16th highest per screen average. So I don't know. I think Jay Devlin, I know you love this and maybe been riding until the cows come home, but this coming up week, this talent pool might be the week you need to get off T2 train spotting. Just saying. So 5-pack T2 train spotting. Beauty and the Beast headliner. Sorry, I'm super tired, y'all. This is very strange for me. I don't get tired like this usually very often. Michael Pitt, Ghost in the Shell as a headliner. Steve Buscemi, Boss Baby headliner. And Will Arnett, headliner from the Lego Batman movie. Got a lot of headliners in there. We definitely appreciate that. Definitely a good strategy, but he just could not overcome his devotion to train spotting. And quite honestly, if you mess with Beauty and the Beast this weekend, you just can't overcome that salary. You can basically get 2 and some change. You get 2 and 2+ actors for what you're getting for one Beauty and the Beast actor. And if you're getting those 2+ actors from, oh man, I'm gonna take a pause for the yawn. Ooh, wow, that was a good one. Sorry, I've been working all evening, hand scoring and all that. Hopefully this will be the last week of hand scoring, because that just takes about 2.5 hours of my life away. So anyways, if you have one Beauty and the Beast actor, you're basically forfeiting the chance at 2 Zookeeper's Wife actors. That's just kind of what it is. So that's a pretty solid call sheet, good for 5th. And I believe, what's that, about 1250, 875. So congratulations on the cash, Jay Devlin. And continuing the new tradition I started just this past weekend, we'll take a look at a new or underserved player this week. Let's take a look at Excellent. Excellent. You have Excellent. I think it's a he. He's been playing this game for just a few weeks now, and so let's take a look at his call sheet. He ended up about, I think, 14th or 15th. So what went wrong here? So here's a very interesting case. Slamma Jamma has just disappeared off the face of the earth. Look at this. I can't find hide nor hair of Slamma Jamma this week. Yeah, see, I mean, I'm not even sure if it was in theaters. It might have been just a hit it and then quit it, a one and done. I don't know. I kind of I did some googling. I couldn't find it in any theaters nationally. I mean, it's just so odd. It truly was one of those cases where either someone had pictures on somebody and owed somebody a favor. I don't know, but I mean, they came in for 1 week, did extremely mediocre, and then bounced. Matter of fact, can we look? I need to satisfy my curiosity a little bit for the viewers here. Okay, so it looked like it was in 502 theaters for 1 week. It was gone. That is bananas. But since we have a rule that everyone gets at least minimal points, we gave anyone who played Slamma Jamma 1 point per actor and 1.40 for the headliners. So if you had Slamma Jamma headliner, which looks like he did, excellent did, you got your 1.40 points. Song to Song was a disaster. Terrence Malick, despite the great cast, is just box office anathema. I mean, he's just anathema to earning money. It's crazy. So that did the minimum. 5-pack of Train Spotting was probably the undoing, and then also 3-packing Beauty and the Beast did not get you what you were hoping for this weekend, because it really was the Stars and Scrubs. If you went Beauty and the Beast, it really left you no room else for anything that could possibly get you more points. If you had a balanced attack that leaned heavily on the Zookeeper's Wife, you were in good shape. And sorry, there it goes again. Can't stop it. At this point, it is 3 a.m. And so if you went with what had been popular in vogue for the last few weeks with Stars and Scrubs, you were kind of SOL this week, only because of what I just said. You just wouldn't have the salary left over, the budget left over to quote unquote hire the actors that would get you the points with Zookeeper's Wife in the platform release. So moral of this week generally is that you have to take this game week by week. You can't. I mean, Beauty and the Beast has had an excellent run. It's had 3 weeks of really strong grosses, but this is one of the weeks where you had to look at the performers in each release type, and the high performer in the platform release was obviously going to be the Zookeeper's Wife. And once again, I mean, just shout out to Ring Balls 22. Just, I mean, he mentioned how he was looking forward to quote unquote stacking the hell out of Zookeeper's Wife, but that's also why I priced it up. When I saw the preliminary theater counts, which you can always find on your own independently on Box Office Mojo, if you clicked on the side theater counts and check out what they're thinking, what they have out there, and you can see what they're thinking, and when I saw that it was going to be on 450, 474 screens, I mean, it was a no-brainer. I mean, it was a really prestige vehicle, had a lot of stuff going for it. It was just going to be a winner all around. So if you identified that was going to perform well at platform, and also another one of our resources, we talked about a little bit at length during the shot list last week was HSX, where their model of like a Hollywood stock market type game would almost translates 1-to-1 as far as per million. So it's pretty. So Zookeeper's Wife opening weekend just super overperformed, and if you were looking at some of these numbers, you had an idea that this thing was going to make some money. So we'll move on from this week, but congratulations to everyone who made money, who cashed, and thanks for trying to give me a run for my money, but this is a really good week for the kid. I got to see more out of y'all. So once again, we have progressive payout, a progressive bounty. We've got 4 weeks worth of bounties coming up, $100. Come and get some. So a real quick overview of next week's box office. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new entrants. The Case for Christ, just keep an eye on that one. 1,200 screens generally. It's we're entering Easter season, and faith-based films tend to do well around Easter. Easter, I believe, is coming in 2 Sundays from now. Yeah, 2 Sundays from now. So let's keep your eye on The Case for Christ. It's limited release, fairly healthy limited release with 1,200 screens. The faith-based have that whole church marketing behind them, so they could be really clutch there. Going in style as a new entrant. Wide release, 3,000 screens. I don't know who the audience is for this, and to be honest with you, in my experience at the box office, while this could have legs, it could perform over several weeks. The older set do not generally bum rush the theaters opening weekend, so just kind of keep your eye on that. Smurfs: The Lost Village will look to cannibalize Boss Baby's gains, so I'd be very, very skeptical about overloading on the Boss Baby especially with Smurfs coming out with a really good piece of IP, intellectual property. I mean, I used to like the Smurfs when I was a kid, so they have a large reservoir of marketing and goodwill that literally, it spans decades. Gifted, a newbie in the platform performance category, only on 50 screens, but it stars Chris Evans and Jenny Slate. For those of you into Hollywood gossip, I do believe that's the set they met and fell in love. So you might want to keep your eye on that. And it's a movie I want to see. It's about a little math prize. So it's kind of like Good Will Hunting meets, I don't know, a little girl. The little girl's got like Good Will Hunting style math skills, and her uncle, who's taking care of her because her mother died, his sister, he's just trying to give her a normal life. So that seems very interesting. I'd keep my eye on that. I might have some shares of that. And if it's playing near me, I might actually go see it. I'm very intrigued. Mine looks like is that a foreign film? I believe mine is, what's mine about? Oh, Army Hammer looks like set in like either Afghanistan or Iraq. Not expecting very much out of it. I'm not hearing very much buzz at all. And then Queen of the Desert. I actually don't know how many screens going to be on. I'm guessing 10, maybe. I'm not even sure if Box Office Mojo is tracking it. Yeah, it's not even tracking it yet, but it is going to have a release. I think it's just doing a token release because they want to simultaneously put it out on streaming services, or maybe the following week put it directly on streaming. So I don't expect it to have more than 10 screens this week. So those are your newcomers this week. I am fading fast, so we're just going to cut it now. Thanks everybody for playing. Appreciate your support. You guys know what to do. Go to cinemadraft.co, tell all your friends, do the responsible thing. Let's get some more people up in here. If we can get some more sellouts, I really do appreciate you guys coming out. And once again, Progressive Bounty, damn it, $100 holla. Come get this money. If I win again, oh my goodness, this money's just gonna keep piling up on itself. So don't let that happen. Let's just, do your due diligence, join the group chat, listen to the podcast, study the trends, feel the zeitgeist. We should have a tripod coming at you on Wednesday with G Nice, and thanks for letting me crash there, G. You're my boy, and the WBW hashtag Chocolate Cardinal, Kevin Garnett of Hollywood, and cultural cul-de-sacs will abound. And let me get off this thing because I am dog tired. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing. And between now and next time you hear me, go see a movie or something.